Looks like it's gonna rain up there. What does that mean? It means it's time to plant some food plot seeds. All right. Now you guys, I know what's gonna happen. You guys are gonna go,
Rich, don't plant that throw and grow. Oh no, it's full of
ryegrass. Oh, that's terrible. It's not nutritious enough for deer. It's not the most attractive for deer. It's full of filler and it's empty calories.
and blah, 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 blah.
But the reality is, I have planted some variation of this stuff, usually the throw and grow, this evolved harvest stuff. I have done this time and time and time again. I have planted this year after year after year. I have well over a decade now of planting this type of crop. I planted turnips, I planted clover, had over an acre of clover in the buck field behind me once. I planted buckwheat, you name it, planted it all, right? Had a great time, love food plottery, it's great stuff. But my take on food plottery these days is a little bit different. What I do now when I plant a food plot, I'm really just looking for something to put a couple of deer in front of me, a doe or two, right? Walking around in front of me during maybe the rut when a big buck will make his way up the ridge, wander into this little food plot and give me a shot opportunity. It worked last year like a charm, like a charm. Now, there are plenty of different reasons to plant food plots. If you believe that you can affect deer nutrition in some way, right, and you're buying into all that stuff, good for you. If you put in massive food plots that feed a whole bunch of deer and provide a lot of calories, hold deer on your property, you got lots of acreage, good for you. You got the machinery to do it, you like doing it, good for you. I'm not in that camp anymore. I really do not believe that food plots, almost any of the food plots that are planted, really affect deer nutrition. You know what affects deer nutrition? You know what affects deer nutrition? That right there. That, friends of Bunjie, that is deer nutrition. Hacking and squirting, hinge cutting, chopping trees, logging off your property, getting sunlight to the forest floor, and allowing that stuff to grow. It's browse, natural browse. That is what deer want. That creates all of the diversity that they need, all of the nutrition, everything else. This stuff and anything else that comes in a bag is just gravy, right? It's the icing on the cake. It's really, for me, it's just part of my hunting strategy. Now, not knocking food plottery. Get out there and do some food plottery. You're probably wondering, Rich, you ain't doing very much food plottery videos this year. Well, part of it's because of this more amended strategy. Another reason, however, that I am not big on the food plottery this year, unfortunately, and I'm late putting this thing in really, and I haven't done the soil amendments, I haven't done the liming, the fertilizer, all that. Part of the reason is because I've had poison ivy like you wouldn't believe, and that's why I'm wearing like full garb here, man. I got the long sleeves on. I am finally in remission from my poison ivy, and I'm not joking. This stuff was nasty this time. I've never had it this bad ever. Never had this much poison ivy, to the point where I couldn't complete a full day of work. I was on 2 different rounds of prednisone and all that good stuff. So, and that really knocked the wind out of me. Okay, it's a big problem. It's something we got to be concerned about. It's funny, we always talk about ticks and how to protect yourself from Lyme disease and all that good stuff. Nobody talks about poison ivy enough, but man, can that really set you back. In my case, multiple trips to the doctor and really set back what I hoped to accomplish. It really made Crossbow Appreciation Month difficult, but we prevailed, didn't we? We prevailed. We put out some good videos. We did our 31 videos in 31 days, or we're almost done with that, right? We're getting there. But anyway, we're on the mend. Felt it starting to rain, so I went back and got my sickle here. I'm going to do the food plot first, but I had to go put my hat on, all that good stuff. Put the stuff back in the truck so it doesn't get wet. But rain is just what you want. If you're putting in a food plot, always do it before a rain. Nothing guarantees you're going to get a little rain on your seed better than it actually being raining. So today was supposed to be a pretty rainy day off and on. And the food plot, let's talk about this food plot. This is the ridge staging food plot. And some of you folks, you friends of Bunjie, are very familiar with it. I've had some adventures here, let me tell you what. I have shot deer out of blinds here. I can remember 2 really nice bucks I didn't shoot here. Right off the top of my head. This will be some fun old school footage. How about that? Right there's your ridge stage and food plot. Got an old hemlock stump in it I cut. This is an old food plot that I put in on it was really just a little tractor path. I widened it out a little bit. I've chopped some trees around the edges and all that good stuff. Make some room for what we're doing, right? Make some room for, get some more sunlight in here. But it's looked better, that's for sure. There is some clover in here. I'm gonna turn you around. We got a lot of Canadian clearweed, some chickweed, whatever that is. It looks like goldenrod or something. And then we got a tree growing down here or something. This is what happens when you don't put the time in on your food plot that you should. And it really has gotten away from me. The truth is, if I had the time, see, there is some clover in here and there, but the deer obviously are going to pick that back. What I am going to do, and I'm really doing this primarily for Genevieve. One of the things that we're trying to accomplish here, okay, is to get enough browse in here to concentrate deer. That's really what we're trying to do. I think I have trail camera footage, evidence that deer eat curly dock, that they eat chickweed, that they eat Canadian clearweed. So all of these things are somewhat attractive to deer. Is it as attractive as clover? No. Is it as attractive to deer as, say, soybeans? Absolutely not. Certainly not as attractive as corn. But in this immediate area, it's as attractive as, let's say, the brushy stuff growing up here, for example, that I've added over time, or the brushy stuff down here, right, that we've added over time by cutting trees. It's a natural forage, but it's a concentration of it where they can come right in here and get it. And I do think the deer will come in here. I'm going to supplement it a little bit with this seed, throw this stuff around in here, let that beat down in the rain here. The fresh shoots and stuff, by the time the season rolls around, it'll green it up nice. It'll stay green into the season, attract deer that way. And it's worked in the past, right? Not doing as much as I normally do. Normally I spend the time with the lime and the fertilizer and all that stuff. We won't be doing that, but nonetheless, I do think we're going to have a pretty good hunting option here, right? And we do have a trail camera here somewhere. Yeah, there's my trail camera right there. We'll check that, see what's on that, put that in this video. How about that? And also, somewhere back in here, there's a tree stand. Oh, there it is. Yeah, right there. That's a tree stand. Maybe we'll get up there and take a view of it when I get this all complete. If we don't get rained out.
Out for a walk in the woods one day. Try to forget the modern way. Treestand, Bunjie in hand. Enjoy a world free of man and think God born this planet and the chance to enjoy it in its natural state.
Ooh, let's see if I can get up here and join you. Let it rain now, huh? We're here. We're all set up. This is the tree stand that didn't have the last bar in place. I bought it on Facebook. Let's take a look at what we got. Miss Genevieve ought to be happy with that. So we'll see where that goes. I just did the upper end of the plot. Lots of seed in there. Set back the vegetation a little bit. The plan is she can sit right here. We got this nice little opening. She can sit right here and pop a deer or two. I think we'll have deer coming in, but I do have a mock scrape over here. That needs some work too. All in time, right? It's only August 17th, Saturday, August 17th when I'm making this video. By chopping all that stuff back, it does two things. One is it lets that seed, because I walked all over that seed too, right? Shook it down into the soil, stepped on some of it when I was doing all that whacking, right? And what that does is it gets more seed to soil contact, but it also sets back that vegetation a little bit. So that curly dock, chickweed, clearweed, all that good stuff. Deer will eat that stuff, but like any other plant, they like fresh young vegetation more than they like old, stale stuff, right? So it's a lot softer. High water content. This stuff's just going to lay on top of that seed, protect it from birds, protect it from the turkeys when they come through. Give that stuff a chance to grow. One thing it does is it removes competition for the seed that I just put down. That seed will have an opportunity to flourish now and get caught up, grow a little bit before that curly dock comes back, because I have set that curly dock and those other native vegetations or forages, set them back a little bit. Man, it's really raining now. So that's good. That will be useful and beneficial for the plot that I just planted. In addition to that, the second thing that it does is by the time the season rolls around, this stuff will rebound. It'll start growing back, which I want it to because it's part of the food plot. That natural food is part of the food plot. And when it comes back, what we're going to have is fresh, young natural forage, right? Instead of this old stuff that's been sitting around all summer, it'll be fresh, new stuff that might be more palatable and attractive to deer. But I think Genevieve can sit right here. She can look down this ridge down there and watch the bucks come up out of the ridge, up out of the swamp, make their way up here. She can look out on the far side, right? See them coming in from over here. Look over there. Look at that. I can shoot out to 40 yards right there if I want to. Sit right here and pop one with the Enforcer or with the slick black Cadillac thing, right? Good spot for that. Or maybe somebody else. Who knows? But anyway, we can sit right here. And really, I could pop a deer right here with Bunjie straight out ahead of us. I am standing near the 100-year-old apple tree. Look how beautiful that looks. Nice little clearing. Deer will feel safe. And then right up there, kaboom, they won't be safe. There's a one-man ladder stand up there. Let's go up there and take a look at that. Another quick observation, though. This is more natural forage. This is buttercups. Can you believe that? Look at this little food plot. This is something you can't plant, but deer keep this trimmed. This would otherwise be waist high, but it's small like this because the deer keep it trimmed. They love it. So you don't need a big old fancy food plot, right? What you need to do is get out there in the woods and have a great time. You can see I've been walking through the mud here. Good Lord. So got to watch real careful for poison ivy as you're walking through here. That stuff is all over the place. It is super miserable, ready to jump out at me at any given opportunity. Little so just be very careful as we walk through here. We'll make the best of it. I cut some branches off. Had to cut some branches off. And look at this. More little presents growing right on that old maple stump, right? This is the maple stump that I cut myself. And when it fell, that tree was not there at the time, but it almost hit there. It fell like right here. Genevieve always brings that up. So I'm not an expert at cutting trees. What am I going to say, you know? But there's your tree stand. I have more straps on this thing. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straps on this. What a view, huh? That is the buck field. I'm up here. I made it up in the tree stand. There's one obvious problem right now with this tree stand. That is the current view of the 100-year-old apple tree. That ain't gonna work. So if we reach out here a little bit and carefully pull that aside, you can see what kind of view we're gonna have, ladies and gentlemen. This is the greatest view in the history of the Kingdom of Bunjie. The 100-year-old apple tree, other apple trees, and I'm up in the air, broken up by a tree where they won't see me. I'll trim this back just a little bit. Trim it back just a little bit. Just a little bit so we can shoot around it, right? So it's not in my face. I mean, seriously, this isn't going to work, right? So we'll have to trim a little bit. But once we get this trimmed, we are going to have a perfect shot right out here. It's a 25, 30-yard shot. Genevieve, just use the Burris Oracle X so we don't have to do the rangefinder thing. Come on. I even offered to buy her one, so she'll come around. Everybody's going to come around on the Burris, trust me. Anyway, I think we got a good opportunity here. I'm going to put a ring in a tree, an eye in a tree, so we can put a safety harness on. So that when you're sitting up here, you got a safety harness. We'll hook on. We'll just snap on. You don't have to worry about tying it on or anything like that. I'm going to do that in all my fixed stands on private property. And I got to tell you, I am psyched about this location. I'm jealous. I want to hunt this location. I don't know, Genevieve. I don't know. We are way up here, though, but you can see I'm broken up. There's still some branches. I don't know how long the leaves will stay on the trees. Probably not into the middle of the season or anything like that, but we're broken up. You know, there's this maple next to me, so we got lots and lots of breakup. I think that it'll confuse the deer a little bit. They won't be looking right at us when they come up here. If I lower it down a little bit, the shooting rail is probably too low to use, but this is the kind of view we got sort of at my chest height. Okay, so down below those branches. That's pretty sweet though, huh? You can just picture deer filtering in from over there and over there, coming in here into this tree. Well, that's unfortunate. We have a broken branch with a lot of apples on it. I went through and picked all the ones I could reach real easy. The rest of them will leave for the deer. They will love them. But I got a nice little bag full of apples for applesauce or something else. We're going to see. Way better. Oh, yeah.